to introducing myself as Madi the esthetician, the owner of Secure Aesthetics, that I don't want to be introduced like that because there is more to me than that.
Well, what is it? Like, what's new? Who are you right now?
I would say that I'm a mother, entrepreneur, and someone that is currently in the phase in her life where she's healing, where
Okay.
she's becoming the best version of herself, and who am I right now? That is such a good question.
And that's how we're starting it. You see? That's how you have to start it. Sometimes you got to start it in ways where somebody doesn't know that they're speaking about themselves authentically. Like if you knew that the camera was recording, you would have had a whole script. You would have said a whole thing.
I would have said, hi, my name is Mariela. I'm an esthetician and owner of Secure Aesthetics, a day spa and a learning academy
like-
where I can,
Sound like
I did
Siri.
E for all.
Sounds like an AI response.
You know what
but
E for all is, right?
An E for all?
E for all, that organization that helps
No.
small businesses, I did it. So they teach you how to pitch yourself.
How to pitch yourself. And that's the thing, like a lot of times with learning how to pitch yourself, it is this it's fabricated a little bit, you know?
Not a little bit. The whole thing is fabricated.
So just asking you right there, that's how we started. You know, and that's way easier. That felt real. That came from a real place. So now that we know what your name is, or officially, you could introduce yourself.
So hello, you guys. My name is Mari. I know you guys have seen me around at the gym. I am a mother. I am a gym or fitness enthusiast. I love I love the way that it makes me feel internally and mentally. And if you see me around, say hi to me. I promise you that I don't bite.
Yeah, and also we should mention who's in the background over here.
I'm always with my mother, and she doesn't bite either. She's friendly, you guys.
She is very pretty. She's on the phone and doing curls. Yeah, that's not a Dominican mother right there.
She's very Dominican.
That's the best. That's the best. So, you've gone through a transformation, and you know I was raised in a household, especially with women, where you don't mention the number of age,
I don't
of
mind.
weight, of whatever. But I want you to talk about it because I think that's one of the things for me. Like I told you before, that I was like, this woman, she's really cool, and doing that, you did it at a later age.
I did do it at a later age.
When you're 20 and you cut, it's like, oh, how long it take you? A month.
Literally.
But when you pass 25, that's when things get a little bit different.
And when you pass 30,
Hey, I didn't want to mention that number.
it's okay.
But, so talk about that and the experience. Like, what made you realize, ja, this life I'm living right now, I don't want to do that?
So what made me realize that I needed to make a change in my health was I am an esthetician. So I help other women feel good about themselves, but I was putting them first before me. So in the process of starting a business, being a single mother, and being so excited about being a business owner, I would take all the clients that would come my way. I would work 12-hour days, and at the end of the day, I would eat a combination plate from Peck and Garden, and that was my life for probably 3.5 to 4 years until I got diagnosed. I was pre-diabetic. And I was tired, I was out of breath. I remember one day I was making a video on Instagram for my business, and all I heard was me breathing in the background. And I wasn't running or anything, but I was out of breath.
Yeah.
And I remember that I would work 12-hour days and I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror. Yeah. And it's not because I didn't like how I looked, it's because I didn't care. Like I didn't care. I don't care how I look. My job is to do these eyelash extensions. My job is to do this facial. And one day I just couldn't do it anymore. I went shopping and I was gonna go to a conference and I tried on a whole bunch of outfits. I tried on more than 10 outfits and I didn't like it. And from that day forward was the day that I decided to change my life.
Is it weird working in an industry where the majority of what you do is make women and men, I'm assuming, feel attractive within themselves, and you internally was like, I don't feel that way?
It wasn't weird for me because I've always been that girl. Ever since middle school, I was that girl, do my makeup, do my makeup, do my makeup. And I grew up in pageantry, but I never felt pretty growing up. Even though other people would call me pretty, I always suffered from like body dysmorphia and stuff like that.
Welcome to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why we're all in this together. Yeah. So I've always been that girl to make other people feel pretty. So it was my norm. I grew up in a beauty salon. My mother owned a beauty salon and a barber shop.
Yeah.
So it wasn't weird, but what I did find weird is that even when I was heavy set or gordita, people would come to my spa and they're like, "I want to look like you," and I didn't get it. I'm
Yeah.
like, "You want to look like me?" Because I wasn't content with the way that I looked. But you know, we're our own worst critic, and we don't look at ourselves the way that other people look
Yeah.
at us. And also, when you have clients, you develop a bond with your clients. So a lot of the times they would see me for who I was, not so much for that I was unhealthy at that moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to be said about personality versus the physicality of somebody, right? Being an interesting person within and internally, and just being nice and upfront, versus being like physically attractive from the first thing they look at you. Right now, subjectively, you're kind of both, right? And
Thank you.
how well, of course, and how has things changed for you since then? What have you noticed? How do people treat you differently? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
I would say that because I am single, so I would say that I am treated, I'm approached more. I was approached before, but I'm approached more. I'm approached differently. But to be honest with you, when it comes to business, it hasn't changed too much because thanks to God, I've been blessed with amazing clients. But what has changed is the way that I view myself, like the way that I show up for myself. I love myself more than I did before.
Yeah.
I feel amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm at the park the other day, I was playing tag with my son.
Yeah, yeah.
I was playing tag with my son.
Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier about like the body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
So that's kind of something that never goes away. But what I love about the change is more the way that I feel on the inside.
Yeah.
And I love it so much that I don't want it to change. So I've built a relationship with food, and I've built a relationship at the gym, and I've built a relationship with myself where I will always show up for myself.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that it has changed too much when it comes to the outsiders, because yo siempre andaba arregladita.
Yeah.
I was gordita, pero
You know?
I think that I got swag as a gordita,
Exactly.
but it's
Exactly.
more like within myself, the way that I show up for myself, and it inspires others.
Yeah.
Like my mother is here at the gym because she sees that I'm loving myself so much, so now she's loving herself.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that like the energy is contagious.
And you mentioned being at the park, being able to run around with your son. How has your physical change and your emotional change as well? Because I think it was all a journey in unison. How has that changed in the sense of being able to be there for your son? Do you see? Was there a version of you when you were, I guess, a lot heavier, where you didn't really imagine yourself running with your kid, but now like you thought you were just gonna sit at the park and watch him run around, and now you're actively being there? Do you ever get a moment where you reflect on the difference between that version of you and now?
Yeah, especially right now, us thinking about it, it's making me reflect on it.
Yeah.
And like something so simple that I couldn't do before that I could do now is if my son falls asleep in the car, I can carry him upstairs.
Yeah.
I had to wake him up before, and it would be like a whole process because he would be grumpy because I woke him up. I can pick up my son and bring him upstairs.
Yeah.
I feel more of a superwoman than I
Yeah.
did before
A
because
super mom.
I feel more capable
Yeah.
as a mother now because I can be there more for him physically. Also, the mental clarity that I have. I used to eat, like I said, Chinese food and fast food all the time. I've made a commitment to myself to change my nutrition, and the mental clarity that I have from that is great. And also, I'm passing that on to my son because he's no longer eating Chick-fil-A. He's no longer eating McDonald's. So it's affecting the people around me positively as well because I'm taking my time in the kitchen, and it brings mental clarity and it makes me feel stronger.
And I think, in a bigger sense, the reason why it probably affects you so much is, as a mom, you're hardwired to know you're gonna be there for your son.
Amen.
That's you're hardwired that way. You
Amen.
know that that's exactly what you need to do, right? And in that moment, when you look back at those videos and you're like, damn, I'm breathing heavy, and or I take these flight of stairs and it's a little rough, or I have to wake him up out of his sleep in order to bring him into home. Now being at a moment where you're realizing, oh, I don't have to do that anymore. Like I'm capable now.
I'm laughing because sometimes I'll do at-home workouts, and
Yeah.
while we're talking about this, I'm thinking about it, and like I'll catch him like going like this with his toys, trying
Yeah.
to lift dumbbells or pretending to lift dumbbells. So it's so funny and cute.
And it's also inspirational, right? And that's what we were talking about before, where you don't have to necessarily have a hashtag that says inspiration to inspire. And that's kind of why I was like, hey, we should do an episode, because there's a lot to be said about inspiring somebody when you're not trying to. And if your son sees you working out, even the idea of you saying, I'd rather have this salad, or I'm gonna eat this because it's better if you mix it with this and it's a lot healthier. Even if you're not really saying like, hey, don't eat Chick-fil-A, that's bad for you. He's just
Oh
gonna
no,
be like,
I still eat Chick-fil-A,
yeah,
but life is about balance. So
exactly.
I could be 80% good, and the other 8, 9, 10, the other 20%. Life is about balance,
Yeah.
and there's still beautiful moments where I am eating that Chick-fil-A with my son, because you can't deprive yourself.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that I have learned in life. Everything is about balance, and I'm loving the journey.
How did you? I assume that the first goal was to lean out, right?
No, drop the weight.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely. I
Exactly.
never thought that I would even want to be building muscle, and
So yeah, that's the goal now.
that is the goal. I never thought that I would. I grew up in a culture where women and muscles is not a thing.
Yeah.
And now in my mind, when I close my eyes and I envision myself with muscles without flexing.
Yeah, yeah. To
So
just be
like my image
toned.
exactly. When I look at those women in those competitions, I admire them. It takes a lot of discipline and dedication to get to that.
Do you see yourself in a competition ever?
I don't know if I will be able to do it, but I'm around a lot of people that do it. So I grew up in pageantry, so I see myself doing anything.
Yeah. I mean, it is a. There's similarities to it. Like
The
with
only
most of
difference
those
is that
things.
there's no interview. You don't have to talk.
Yeah.
And on for pageants, they judge you on your interview portion a lot. In bodybuilding, they judge you for your muscles.
Exactly.
So they're both hard.
How has, in the sense of your goals, how have they changed the more knowledge you gained with the gym?
My goals have completely changed 100%. Obviously, because I want to gain muscle, adding weights
Yeah.
every single week
Yeah.
is a thing that I didn't know before. But you know what? My real goals that have changed have been my personal goals.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I cared so much about career. Like career. Being a single mother and being the sole provider for my child,
have to
making
be.
money, exactly. But I am in a point in my life where my health and my well-being and my mental health comes first.
Yeah.
The time of my gym, I don't care if I'm gonna make $1,000 with you in 2 hours.
It's your time.
It's my time and it's non-negotiable.
They have to come to you at the gym. They have to pull up with you.
No,
No.
because I'm gonna ignore you because this is me time.
Do you think you're more of, I like working out with people, or I like working out by myself?
So at first I was working out with both. I like both because
Yeah.
I love learning from other people,
Yeah.
and I'm still learning. I'm about 1 year deep into this, and every single day I learn something new. So I think both of the options are important
smart.
options.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, since I am a single mom and I'm an entrepreneur, it's hard for me to socialize. So coming to the gym is a way for me to connect with other people that are like-minded individuals. So I do value the aspect of working out alone because you get to go hard, but I also value working out with somebody else because you learn and you build friendships.
Yeah. So you spoke about your business. You're an esthetician. We also spoke about the idea of your passions changing as you've gotten more knowledgeable in the fitness industry, but also in the sense of yourself, like as you are as a woman, as yourself, right? what is your passion now? Where is it gearing towards? What is it leaning towards? What do you want to do?
So I am still passionate about empowering women and helping women. I do see myself making a name for myself in the fitness community in a different way because
Yeah.
I love fashion, and I one of my favorite things about the gym is getting ready to go to the gym.
The fits matter.
It
You got to dress
literally,
up. If you dress up, you
literally.
feel good, right?
Not only that, since I am such a busy person outside of the gym, I don't have much time. I don't have a life outside of the
Yeah,
gym. My
yeah.
life is my child and my business. So when I come to the gym, I like to look at what's in front of the mirror. So I
Yeah.
take my time picking out my outfits. Yes, I do my makeup to come to the gym, but it's esthetician.
feel good.
Yes, it's esthetician approved makeup. It's skincare makeup. The girls who know.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yep, it exists. So I'm doing good things for my skin while I'm at the
That's
gym.
smart.
So with that being said, I would love to, in the near future, create my own fitness brand, my own fitness fashion brand. So this is still in the very beginning stages, but
Yeah.
I see myself doing that, especially being a curvy girl. It's hard to find good leggings that are squat proof. It's hard to find outfits that are flattering. So I would like to cater to that demographic.
Yeah. And you kind of touched upon it, and it's something, it's so funny. I never actually realized the the nuances of being a woman going to the gym. There's a lot of prep.
Oh,
There's a lot of prep. There's what you wear. There's how you look. It's you wake up. My hair If I wake up with frizzy hair, I just comb it. You know. I
mind
brush
you,
it.
like some people are not like that. Some people get
You
up
get up
and
and
go,
go.
and good for them. I wish that I was like that. But listen, this is my moment for myself in every aspect. So I'm gonna feel good in every single aspect of getting ready to go to the gym and loving what I see in front of the mirror while I'm working out and lifting weights.
Yeah.
Literally my moment. I'm recording the whole thing. I'm uploading it. This is for me.
So you're also creating content with it, and that's even another thing. You're creating content. So we both grew up, and it wasn't a thing. Creating content wasn't a thing.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
YouTube era.
Exactly.
So
the
it's when
YouTube
it
era.
first started, and it was such an incredible moment. It opened up my eyes to so much,
Yeah.
literally. It was and it wasn't.
Yeah, and with that, right? You, I don't know if you know, but you're learning so much from different places. You're learning how to use tech, how to use a camera, how to get angles that you like. We spoke about it earlier. You now don't even care about your angles as much because now,
I'm not uptight about it anymore.
yeah,
It feels very liberating.
it makes life a little bit easier. So with the idea of, again, being at this a new physique and still growing, obviously you're gonna get stronger.
Amen.
Life has gotten way easier in a much more like superficial sense, in the sense of you get to get up, go, and do all that. Has it gone easier with prepping for the gym and getting your morning routine done? And
It has gotten easier. I was actually telling my mother this because I don't have to think about what I'm gonna wear. Even though
Yeah.
I care about what I'm gonna wear, the first thing that I try on looks good.
yeah, and it probably changes a lot more and I can relate to this, where you wear shorts or you wear a shirt and maybe you don't like the way it forms around your stomach, your uh,
You don't
love
feel as
handles.
comfortable.
Yeah, now it's just colors. You're like, all right,
Now we can wear more colors. It doesn't have to be black.
brown and cream. And like certain
Exactly.
colors, like for instance, black is a lot more. It
Safe.
hides a lot more.
Yes.
But now you're wearing light blue.
Yes, I would never in the past. But you know what? We are in our own heads.
Yeah.
Because I remember in a group chat with my friends, I told them I'm wearing shorts today to the gym. I have anxiety, but I'm gonna conquer this anxiety. Because even though I've gotten this far, sometimes we're still that person that we used to be in our head.
Yeah.
So it's still a transition process of becoming comfortable with who you are, but it's liberating because
Yeah.
once you finally face that fear, you feel good, and then you go home and you order 10 more pairs of shorts.
Yeah. All right. So here's a good question. It's a two-part question. One, how often do you find yourself taking a leap of conquering your anxiety and fear with who you used to be?
Every single day.
And two, two is how do you know those moments of like conquering those fears and conquering those anxieties, how do you know when you're making strong steps towards no longer feeling that?
I'm gonna put it simple. The shorts example. I really wanted to wear the shorts to come to the gym.
Did you?
I did wear the shorts,
Congratulations.
and then I just decided to ignore ignore the voices in my head.
Yeah.
And it's like the fake it till you make it thing.
Yeah.
And also I have a great support system, which is my mother, and I go to her first and I'm like, Mommy, do you think that I look appropriate
Yeah.
wearing the shorts? And she is that person that will always tell me yes or no. But you
Yeah.
know what? Even my mother's mindset has changed because she is not the person that she used to be, in
Yeah.
the sense that she is not judgy anymore. Even if there
Yeah.
is a flaw that I don't feel comfortable with, her coming to the gym, she has learned too that it's not about the flaw, it's about what you're doing to change that or make it better. So if I feel some type of anxiety or something like that, I talk to myself. I have pep talks with myself in my head, and
Yeah.
I have talks with my support system, and I just do it. So every day, even wearing this outfit, in the past I would have felt insecure about
Yeah.
it. And you know what? I came in with a little sweater, and I was gonna keep it on for the interview.
And now
And
it's off.
my mom said, "Take off that sweater. You've worked way too hard. Stop being in your own head." And she took the sweater and she put it in her bag. So it's important to have a good support system
Yeah.
around you.
And even that, right? How do you like? I saw on the other day on Instagram that you went out, had ice cream and stuff, right? How do you still maintain a good relationship with food where you tell yourself, hey, I could have this. It's not gonna kill me. I'm not gonna wake up the old version of me if I have this. What is your mental system to be able to? Because I know a lot of people, especially me, like you cut so much and you convince yourself that you can't do certain things when in reality you just do have to do things in moderation. How do you get over that idea?
So I learned that it's really that simple. If you're a person that you're constantly active and you're burning calories and you're eating healthy throughout the day, you're allowed to have one or two treats throughout the day. Like, it's really that simple.
Yeah.
Sometimes we overcomplicate things. If I'm eating healthy throughout the entire day and I want to have some ice cream, I'm gonna go to JG's and order the ice cream. I'm gonna order a size small,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna indulge in it, and I'm gonna make sure that on that day that I'm gonna indulge in something that has so many high calories that I'm gonna eat it on a day where I already went to the gym and I had a great day. Something that I learned that I never used to do before, if I had a bad day of eating, I'm like, well, whatever, the whole day has gone to crap, so let me just indulge the whole entire day, and then that will turn into days and weeks and months.
Yeah.
I'm in a stage in my life where I'm able to have a treat and I'm able to pick up right where I
Yeah.
left off. It's a lifestyle.
It's funny that you said that. I just came back from my trip and I went to Costa Rica weighing at 163 and I left and I drank and I ate and I had pina coladas and I did all of it.
As you should.
Came back, I was 169 pounds. And I was like,
That's not so bad for everything that you did.
no, I know, but I felt it. The bloatedness, you feel it, right? You're like, damn, like I don't know. So I started kind of being like, all right, let's get ready, let's lean out again. By the time this episode comes out, I will be in DR, right? And I was like, I'm going on another trip soon, so I gotta lean out. And I weighed myself this morning after just getting back to it, 162.
Amazing.
So I'm lighter, and I'm like,
and
yo.
you have the knowledge
Yeah.
that you maybe and the determination that you didn't have before.
Yeah. So with that being said, right, there's an understanding with that lifestyle that I know I'll even if I thought about it, my body would physically never bring me to that point again. When did you realize in this journey of yours, I'm never gonna go back to that?
Every day. I say it to myself every day. When I try on a pair of leggings and I love the way that they look, I say it to myself. When I look in the mirror, when I'm here, this is what I work so hard here because I don't want to go back to what I was. I don't want to go back to what I was. That, guess what? I went to Dominican Republic for 7 days and I went to the gym every day. I went to a gym in Las Terrenas. I went to a gym in Bani. I went to a gym in Jarabacoa.
That sounds really nice though.
It was an experience. I documented it on TikTok. I don't feel me if I am not pouring into my own cup.
Yeah.
So like, the way that I feel is priceless, and I'm so happy that I got to this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's a mental discipline, and if I've conquered this, I can conquer anything in the world. I'm not getting in my own way anymore.
Yeah. And so, how, especially with your mom too, being the fact that she's going into the gym and obviously she's your mom, so she's a little older. How does that make you feel?
It ma-
Knowing that the mother daughter role kind of switched, right? Where you're inspiring her and you just said it, she's less judgy and she's going to the gym and now she's maybe a little bit, and we spoke about this, you're an empathetic person and maybe you don't realize, but you taught your mom empathy.
My mom has osteoporosis.
Yeah.
And
what is that
so
for?
osteoporosis is her bones are very fragile, and there's pores on her bones, big pores, like little holes on her bones. And the only thing that can fill up those pores or make them smaller is lifting weights.
Oh.
And I had known that my mother had
I didn't even know
I honestly, I've been knowing that she has this condition for about 3 years, and it went in through one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, when you're in this lifestyle, it's contagious. So every
Yeah.
single day when I would go home after the gym, Mom would be like, Mommy, mira, I'm lifting weights. Look at my legs. Like, look
Yeah.
at what's happening. And then I randomly, I decided to look up osteoporosis. And I learned all about it. And I told her, Mom, you need to make a change.
Yeah.
Like come to the gym with me. Not for the way that you're gonna look, but for your health.
Yeah.
And it's made us closer.
Yeah.
Every single morning when she wakes up, I'm the first person that she calls. It's made her love herself more. She's wearing things that she thought she was too old to wear, and I'm right behind her, empowering her, because age is a number. Wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. And I love the solid relationship that the gym has allowed us to have, and we're working on incorporating the other members of our family members as well. We're going to Houston.
You guys are gonna be packed.
That's what we want. We're going to Houston next week. We made sure that the house had a gym.
Yeah.
Because we're about this.
You have to be, right? So how did you find out? Like, cause I met you through here. But you went to Choice.
I used to
before,
go
I'm
to
assuming?
Choice. It used to be, I don't know if you remember this, it used to be BSC, and before that it used to be Latitude.
Boston Sports Club?
Yep.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
that, Latitude.
Yeah,
So
I
I've been a
remember that.
member there for over 10 years.
So how this gym, in the sense of like, we spoke about this, the idea of community, and how that kind of changes the way your outlook on the gym and working out. In the sense of that, in the sense of the community that's here, I see you, and you know that I do gotta give respect to the women gym community, because you guys are so, like, you guys support each other so
I built a lot of
way
friendships
more.
here.
And so how does that, like, when you reflect on the friends you've made throughout your journey in terms of going to the gym, like, how did that explode when you guys found a place to do it in and be able to record the content and do all of that? That probably has changed things dramatically.
I love the learning aspect on it, because I've like for example, I told you that I was stretching with Mercedes
Yeah.
for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Like, she educated me so much on different ways to stretch, different ways to be flexible. I built friendships with another girl. Her name is Christina. She has contributed greatly towards my fashion at the
Yeah.
gym. And then I built friendships also, like, with Kiana, and she
Yeah.
has influenced me so much on the consistency and the importance of posting on social media.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have met them if it wasn't in this facility.
Yeah, and you
'Cause
guys
we-
all support each other.
and because that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. We should all be supporting each other. There's room for all of us to grow. You can view all of us.
Yeah.
You're not only gonna view just me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
could,
yeah.
there's 10 million content creators that you follow on social media.
Yeah.
And guess what? We all post similar subjects. So if you enjoy my content, you're gonna enjoy theirs too. But outside of that, we have a chat where we motivate each other. We share recipes. We share discount
pretty cool.
codes. Yep. And we just talk about, we're friends. We're
Yeah.
really friends in real life. And we're like-minded individuals. So a place like this for me is amazing. And you know what? When I first came here, I had gym anxiety.
Yeah.
because it's a new place with new people. And who knows? You probably seen me and I've seen you, but in other places, it's just a big crowd.
Yeah.
Here, it's not just a big crowd. It's a community, and people get to know each other. Kyle does a good job posting us on the stories, so it's
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
for us to like follow other people, and like I love it. Honestly, I love it. I love it. And everyone that comes here, they take their work serious. And from me just being on the Stairmaster, people watching, I learned from that.
Yeah.
And also, you know what else I love? That if I come here in the mornings, I see the same people every time.
Yeah.
Like, get it. Like
Yeah.
we're all doing this. We're all
Getting to it.
disciplined, and I love it. I love it. It's inspiring.
No, I mean, no, I agree. I agree. I think there's a lot to be said, especially because birds of a feather, right? If you surround yourself with like-minded people, it's extremely hard to go back to a version of yourself maybe you weren't proud of. Having friends that hold you accountable.
Oh, yeah.
And let you know information like maybe like that you don't like. If you're slacking, they can tell you. And
Or
it comes
even
from a
if
good
you
place.
like the other day, I made a video and I was on the squat rack, and my friend told me, Mariela, the next time that you do squats, put your feet this way because it's gonna work whatever muscle better. So just having that support system and that community. And I always tell people too, if you see me doing something wrong, tell me.
To tell you, yeah.
Tell me, because I don't know everything and I want to make it count. So having those people around you that hold you accountable, I love it. Like,
Yeah.
I hope it never goes away.
No, and that's the beautiful thing about where we're at right now. Right now, and we spoke about this earlier. Being active is sexy, and
It's the new sexy.
it's
It's
the
the new
new
club.
sexy, and it's the new club. And I realized it during the club night when I was like, oh my God, it's a Friday night and there's so many people here.
Excited to lift weights and do push-ups.
On a Friday night,
Isn't
people
that
are doing
amazing?
push-up competitions.
We needed that. We needed that in this community. Like,
Exactly.
it's a wonderful thing.
Exactly. So, with all of that, right, it lets you know, yeah, I don't want to not be on this train.
Exactly.
And there's people on a daily basis being like, you know what, tomorrow we're getting to it. We're gonna do exactly. You know how many tripods are probably sold out at Target right now, Best Buy and all that? They're gone. They're gone.
Good. People
Because-
ask me, how do you record? And I'm like, everybody else does it too, so you're not gonna feel
Yeah.
weird.
So it's that idea, and that's one of the reasons why I even started coming here, because I'm like, yo,
Me too.
like I want to be able to be in a place and have all of my camera stuff and not worry about the perception of what it looks like. Like, oh, look at him, he thinks he's so important.
Literally.
And now it's like,
Literally.
I want to see that video when it's done.
Literally.
So it's definitely comforting. And honestly, like I think one of the funniest things that that you asked me before we started recording was like, oh, like, why me? Why'd you even ask? And it's that. I think it's the idea that you do a lot of inspiring things by accident. You've worked so hard, and when you're naturally a person who doesn't sit with themselves as often and celebrate their wins, that says a lot about you.
Because we're just
you
going
know?
through the motions, going through the
And you're
motions,
constantly
going through the
growing.
motions.
And that's one of the trial and tribulations of having body dysmorphia, of being a perfectionist, of all of that, is that there's always room to be better.
And I'm always looking at it that way.
Yeah.
And we do have to sit down and reflect and be like, wow, like
I'm
I'm
actually
doing
doing
this.
something.
I'm
Yeah.
inspiring people around me.
Yeah. And I think that's like, for me, kind of the lining reason as to why I was very much like, yeah, like I would love a lot of these conversations that I have with people are new. Like we don't know each other. I've seen you at the gym. We have each other on social media, but we don't know each other. And I think it's been so cool to know you. And
you.
I don't know how long we've been here. We've been here for a good amount of time, but
Since 8:45.
Since
8,
8:45.
9, 10, almost 3 hours.
imagine making somebody pull up at 8 in the morning and just like asking them somebody, getting to know somebody. It's nerve-wracking, but you did it.
It
And
doesn't feel like it's so early, right?
I know. It feels like it's 3 o'clock
It
right now.
really does.
And then we have the rest of the day. But yeah, ultimately, it's been a pleasure getting to know you.
It was a pleasure getting to know you.
And you're episode, 5? You're episode 5 right now. I think if I'm not mistaken, you are the last episode of the season of season one. Yeah, we're starting the new episode, new seasons in July. I think August. We have to see. Life's been just crazy, but I don't know. How do you feel? How does life feel for you? What is your, I guess, when they see you at the gym again, and people see you on the stairmaster or with your mom? Obviously, for one thing, don't be afraid to talk to you because she's not a scary person. She's
I promise.
an amazing person. But
Thank you.
also, like, what do you want people to kind of know?
When people see me, I want them to know.
I know it's tough. I put you on the spot.
You
Like, what
put
do you
me
want people to know? Like, it's tough.
when something that I want people to know right now, if they see me at this moment, is give yourself time to heal. And the gym can be an amazing tool for you to heal. And the gym can be an amazing tool to tell you where you're gonna go next. And it creates wonders. So when you see me, know that I'm a person that I give myself time and I give myself grace, and amazing things can happen if you do that. If you put yourself first, amazing things can happen if you block out the rest of the world and focus and have tunnel vision on what you want.
Yeah.
And then once you get to what you want, the possibilities are endless. Right now, it's like it's gonna sound cliche, but reborn. I never thought that I would be interested in starting a fitness brand. I never thought that people would be inspired by me for just showing up for myself. So I'm an inspiration to myself, and maybe I can be an inspiration to you. And don't be afraid to ask me any questions.
I couldn't have ended it better myself. I told her that the worst thing about this episode is starting it and ending it. That was good.
Oh,
That was
thank you.
good, but
It's so
thank
hard.
you. Thank you for being part of episode 5.
Thank you for
I
having
hope,
me.
I hope I didn't bombard you with a bunch. I always say this because I
Not at
feel like I'll be
all.
asking mad questions. I'll be like, and then what happened in 2009?
It's an
But
opportunity for me to self-reflect. So
I
thank
know.
you for giving that to me.